Greetings, this is David Deloach, and instead of sitting in my music room with my guitar, I'm sitting in my kitchen looking at my laptop, and I'm going to teach you about intervals. Now, intervals are not the most exciting part of music theory or playing the guitar, but I guarantee if you'll take a little while to learn what's in this lesson, it's going to have a huge payoff. Intervals are simply a way to measure the distance between two notes. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a ruler to represent the size of these intervals, okay? Now, let's let each inch on this ruler represent a half step in music. And a half step is basically one fret on the guitar fretboard. So on any string between like the 3rd and 4th frets of the 6th string, or between the 9th and 10th frets of the 3rd string, anywhere you have two adjacent frets on any string, you're going to have a half step in distance, all right? And if we take the 7 natural notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and we lay them out on the ruler, they're going to look like this. There's a half step between B and C. There's a half step between E and F. You'll notice that. The other notes all have a whole step separating them. Now, if you don't know where the notes are on the guitar, I have a video that's titled appropriately, How to Learn the Notes on the Guitar Fretboard. And you can go check that out. But for now, let's just take this as gospel. It's the way music was designed way back when by Mr. Music, whoever wrote this all out originally, and this is the way, this is the system we live with. Now, if we add the sharped or flatted notes that reside in between the 7 natural notes, they're laid out like this. And you'll notice there's a half step in between each of the 12 notes found within an octave. All right? So the first interval we're going to look at is a minor second. A minor second has the distance of a half step, or 1 fret. For instance, if you started at the note A and you went up to B flat, that's a minor second. Conversely, if you started at A and went down a minor second, you're going to land on G sharp, all right? And no matter where you start, you know, an A sharp up a minor second is a B down a minor second is an A sharp, C sharp up a minor second is D, and vice versa. No matter where you start, that minor second will determine the distance between the notes. And this is true for all the intervals. You can move the unit of measure around like this, up and down the ruler. Okay, the next interval we're going to look at is called the major second. Now, the major second has the distance of 1 step or 2 half steps, but let's call it 1 step. Remember, a step is also known as a whole tone, which is just 2 half steps put together. But if we started with an A, we went up a major second, we would land on B. And if we started on A and went down a major second, we would land on G. And like any other interval, you can start up or down anywhere on any of the 12 notes, and that major second will define a distance of 2 half steps, or 2 frets. Okay, next interval, minor third, 1.5 steps. You start with A, you go up a minor third, you land on C. You go with A, you go down a minor third, you land on F sharp. Next interval, major third. You start on A and go up a major third, you get a C sharp. You start on A and you go down a major third, you get an F. Perfect fourth is our next interval. It's the distance of 2.5 steps. You start on an A, you go up a perfect fourth, you got a D. You start on an A, you go down a perfect fourth, you got an E. The next interval is kind of interesting. This one we'll take a little more time on. This interval actually has 3 names. It's 3 steps in distance, and it's called either the augmented fourth, or the diminished fifth, or the tritone. Now, you see, if we start with A, this thing goes up to D sharp or E flat. If we go from A to D sharp, that's an augmented fourth. If we go from A to E flat, that's a diminished fifth. And either one of those could be called a tritone as well. Now, I don't want you to bend your brain too much trying to figure this one out. You can come back to this one later. Just trust me, this one's got 3 names, and it's in music theory, it's considered one of the most dissonant intervals, okay? So we go from A up to D sharp or E flat when we're ascending. And guess what? When we're descending, where do we land? Oops, forgot to put that slide up there. But this explains the what I was just talking about, the difference between an augmented fourth and a diminished fifth. But anyway, we go up a tritone, we land on D sharp E flat. When we go down, we land on the exact same spot. And again, this text at the bottom will you can go back and study that to see the difference between an augmented fourth and a diminished fifth, although they're the exact same pitch. If you shut your eyes and hit that note, it's going to sound the same. And just notice that this interval cuts an octave exactly in half. All right, just a little bit of trivia there. Now our next interval is the perfect fifth. This is 3.5 steps in distance. And if you were at A and you went up a perfect fifth, you'd land at E. If you were at A and you went down a perfect fifth, you land at D. Okay? Next interval, minor sixth. A minor sixth is 4 steps. You start at A, you go up a minor sixth, you land at F. You start at A, you go down a minor sixth, you land at C sharp. Next interval, major sixth. It's 4.5 steps. You start at A, you go up a major sixth, you land at F sharp. You start at A and go down a major sixth, you land at C. Next interval, minor seventh. You start at A minor seventh is 5 steps. If you start at A and you go up a minor seventh, you land at G. You start at A and go down a minor seventh, you land at B. All right. Next interval, the major seventh. It's 5.5 steps. You start at A, you go up a major seventh, you land at G sharp. And if you start at A and go down, descending a major seventh, you will land on B flat. Next interval, the octave. If you start at A and go up an octave, you land at A. And guess what? If you start at A and go down an octave, you land at A. Not rocket science there. Okay, so let's review this. These are the 12 intervals we looked at so far, and their distance and steps. This is something that, this is one of the few things in music theory you just have to sit down and memorize and learn. But hey, it's only 12 of them, and I think you can do this. I do. I believe in you. It's not that hard, even if you only remember one a day or one a week. If it took you 12 weeks to memorize these, hey, you got the rest of your life with them in your brain. So why not take the time to learn them and then go through some exercises where you pick a random note, like a C, and you go up a major third. What's that? Oh, that's an E. All right. And you get to where you know what the actual note names are, ascending and descending, starting from any note. That's ideally where you want to be. And I guarantee this is going to help you a lot understanding music theory, communicating musical ideas, and it's going to accelerate your learning and your understanding of music. So anyway, that was my thrilling dissertation on intervals. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, please like this video. Please share it with anyone you think it might help, and I always appreciate the subscriptions and the support. And again, you can download the PDF of this slide deck from my website. So happy picking, and we'll talk to you on the next video. Thanks.